very good afternoon to everyone who is watching, and welcome to our 16th episode of Tee Vee. I'm really happy to have you here with us. I'm Karen Reeves Toppin, your host, and I am the founder of Key Inspirations. Key Inspirations was founded with the idea of helping small businesses and medium businesses succeed, and not just to survive, but to thrive. We sit with you once you have made your goals. We become a point of accountability, and so I am an accountability coach, helping you to make sure that you achieve the goals that you set. So one of the things that I also do is I provide a platform for small businesses to showcase their business, and it's free to come on, and this is Tee Vee. And I really hope that week to week you have been enjoying, you have been educated, you have been refreshed, and that you are expecting and anticipating another brilliant episode today. My guest today, Sotonye Deru. When I met this young lady, I have to say the first thing that struck me about her was how well put together she was. And I wondered exactly what area of work, which industry does this young lady work in? It did not surprise me to find out that she actually works in the wedding industry. Haha, Sotonye, good afternoon and welcome to Tee Vee.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here live with you this afternoon.
I know. It's I wanted to have a sit down with you and have a lovely business chat. We go to the same church, so we talk a lot about church, and we work on some similar teams. So we talk a lot about church events and so on. But we've never really had a chance to talk about what we do outside of church.
Yes.
So it's good to have this opportunity, and thank you so much for agreeing to share the platform with me.
You are most welcome. Thank you.
So, how long have you been in business? And tell us, I remember saying to you that, well, you said to me you're a serial entrepreneur. How long have you been in business? How many years altogether for all of the businesses?
Well, really, when I was, I guess you'd calculate my age now, but let's say over 20 years ago, and it all started actually when I used to cane row my friends' hair when I was in secondary school. And I used to cane row their hair, and I would charge them, I think it was like £5 to like cane row the back of their hair. And, you know, at the time I didn't realize that, you know, I was an entrepreneur, I was like a businesswoman. It's just something that I just did. And it was my time. I thought, of course, you know, if you're willing to pay a hairdresser, then hey, let me plait your hair and you can pay me. So I kind of started there, but I didn't, you know, think too much about it because my goal was to become a successful, you know, solicitor. So that was, you know, that was my main focus. So I went to uni, I studied law, and that's what I really wanted to do. But then along the way, you know, I kind of got back into entrepreneurship, and I officially, you know, saw myself as a business owner when I was 21 years old. And my journey has continued since. So I'm in my early 30s, so I've been in business for a very long time, and I have started different businesses, and yeah, every business I've started has been in alignment with my purpose, with my calling, why I believe I'm here, and it's just been an extension of just, you know, what I do naturally. I've been able to, you know, find a way to kind of, you know, bring value to the market in order for me to be able to monetize my gifts and my talents.
You know, that's so important. You said everything that you're doing now has been in alignment with where you expect to be. At 21 years old, you already knew where it was you wanted to be. Most young people at 21, they're still trying to figure out exactly what it is they want to do. I know when I was 21, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't figure out what I wanted to do until I was, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all kind of from a young age, I knew that I was here to to impact lives. So I actually wanted to be a psychologist because, you know, even from secondary school, my friends would come to me, they'll tell me all their problems and I would, you know, help them and think of different solutions. So I actually studied law and psychology at college. And then I ended up doing better in my law exam. So I thought, okay, let me go on to do law. And law was going to be a vehicle for me to help young offenders. So I saw I was going to go into criminal law. And, you know, my plan was, you know, as I'm, you know, defending these young people, I'll be able to speak with them and get them to, you know, think about their life and hopefully, you know, do a U-turn and turn away from, you know, the life they were currently living. So again, you know, my purpose for wanting to do law was again tied into wanting to impact and change lives. And then when I finished my degree, I then felt like a burden inside of myself for young people where I wanted to, because after you do a law degree, you then go into law school. And then you do some training and you become qualified. So I decided to take a year once I finished university before going to law school to work with young people. Because at the time I just saw so many young boys getting kicked out of school, you know, young girls getting pregnant. And I just thought, you know, this is not your purpose in life. Like there's more, there's greatness inside of you. And that kept on just, you know, being a burden that I couldn't shift. So I thought, okay, let me take a year out and let me just go back to work in my old secondary school. And, you know, by chance I was speaking to somebody at my uni. He was leaving, he was working at a youth club. He was leaving. He said I should apply for his job. I then applied for it. I had no qualifications. They took me on. And that's how I kind of started my journey into working with young people. And then I never went back to law.
Wow. So it seems as though every step has really been ordered. Now, I know you're a Christian and I'm going to raise this now. Let's come forward a little bit. When did you start your Christian journey and did you find that it helped with your business at all?
Okay, so from the age of 5, my earliest memory is actually going to church, which is what, and that was at the age of 5 that my mum, you know, took us to church, and it was just amazing because I saw my mum grow. Like now I look back, I can see like my mum, I can see her growth. I can, you know, she was very committed to taking us to church and bringing us up in the way of God. You know, we grew up in a Christian home. Our values were that of you know, of Christianity. And, you know, my mum, you know, she would pray with us. You know, let's just really just do her best to ensure that our foundation was in God. So along the way, you know, I always knew that I'm here for a purpose. And, you know, what is that purpose? Why am I here? What is the reason for my existence? So when I started looking at, you know, the things I'm good at, the things that I enjoy, the things that, you know, attract people to me, it was my ability to be able to help people, to help them from where they were, to get them to where they need to get to. And it was my ability to be able to encourage people. I'm an encourager. You know, I like to encourage people. I like to bring out the best in them. I like to get them to see, you know, who they are and then to help them to get there. So that's kind of how events even comes into play as well, because events is very much about, you know, getting you from A, having an idea for an event, and then actually executing that event. So you can see the connection between me as a life coach, motivational speaker. Just my purpose in general is helping you get from one place to another and helping make that journey, you know, as easy as possible for you. But in that journey, helping you to see your potential and release your potential so that you can become all that God has destined for you to become. So at the age of 20, was a critical stage for me, and this is where my Christianity and my faith really came into play, because I had to make a decision whether I was going to continue in law, because I got to a point where I realized law isn't really the vehicle I want to use to help people. When I was working in the courts, I realized this isn't actually what I thought it was going to be. So I had to make a decision to continue with law or to actually continue working with young people and launch myself as a motivational speaker, doing workshops, you know, all around. And my purpose, I chose purpose over what other people say. I chose purpose over, you know, just kind of what my family or what my friends kind of, you know, would have expected of me, especially being Nigerian. You know, there's only a few career routes you can go down. And working with young people wasn't one of them. But I decided that I was not going to live a life of regret. that at the age of 21, I decided I was going to wake up every day and live my life on purpose and do what God has called me to do. And I haven't looked back. And since making that decision, I have no regrets. And God has been faithful. God has been awesome. He has opened doors for me. He has put me in platforms that I couldn't have even, asked for. He has flown me around the world, speaking in different places, and just allowing me to do, what he has called me to do is just amazing. So, yeah.
This is really powerful because, some people that are studying for one of the top jobs, as we in the Caribbean and the African countries would call it, your lawyer, your doctor, and anything along that line,
Yeah.
Studying for that, you're expected to complete it, sit the bar, sit your final exams, and then go into practice. And what you're saying is that even though you had done that, you didn't feel fulfilled. Some people would say that, even though you didn't feel fulfilled, that you should have gone on and continued there, but you chose purpose over profit. Rather than going on the line where you could be more profitable, you chose rather to live your life on purpose. And you made that pivot to follow the line of to follow the path of purpose, and you've not regretted it. That's really powerful. I hope there's someone who's listening today that if you are going down a road where you're studying something that could cause you to be extremely lucrative, but every night you're going to sleep and you're saying to yourself, this is not what I was born to do. I don't feel comfortable continuing in this. Never be afraid to step out of the box. That was the exact phrase that I used when I was advertising this particular episode. Step out of the box. And people shouldn't be afraid to step out of the box, because in stepping out of the box and launching out into the way where you feel that you're most being pulled, as long as it's legal, step out of the box and do that thing. All right, so
can I just add as well? Yeah, we talk about stepping out of the box, but you're stepping out of the box and you're stepping into where God actually wants you to be, and that's the most important thing. Because you know when they say, if you're, there's no point having a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall, because that ladder's not going to take you to anywhere. It's not going to take you to where you need to be. Everybody has a purpose, So it's so important that and one thing as well, is that when you start to live out your purpose, you will become successful. It's without a question. Like when you start to do what you were born to do, you will flourish. They say that a fish out of water looks extremely disgusting. It's struggling to breathe. It's just not beautiful. But when you put that fish back in its rightful place, put the fish back in its element, it will glide. It will look beautiful. Everybody will come around and be like, woo. So your glory really shines forth when you are living in your purpose. And that's the honest truth. And that's where you do get your full fulfillment. So never be afraid to do what you know your purpose to do, because when you live in your purpose, then you truly come alive, and then you won't have to struggle. You won't have to struggle for doors to open to you, because your gift will bring you before great men, and that is my testimony. So you want to do what you want to do. You want to live out your purpose, because everything that's attached to your purpose, will come to you, and all the gifts and the talents that you have is for the purpose. So then why else, would you use those gifts for something else that it's not intended for?
Amazing. That's just amazing. Fantastic. I am in awe. Guys, if you're listening to this is a motivational speaker for you to book. I mean, like right now, book. Get in touch with Sotonye Deru right now. You can find her on Instagram. Let's read these handles, at Sotonye Deru. And you can also find her at SD Weddings NGT or at Book More Brides. Now let's talk about weddings management and Book More Brides.
Yes.
You're doing weddings. This is what you have stepped into doing, where your events are concerned. We've seen Sotonye, the motivational speaker, and I'm convinced. Thank you. And the other side of you, another side of you, this is, you work with weddings, you manage weddings, and you work with event planners to help them to book more weddings. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I am so passionate about training So even like on the personal development side, you know, I do coach and I do train and I do workshops. So a while ago, I got into events. So my second business, I set up was my events business. And at the time, we were doing events that were career focused, personal development focused, and business focused. So I set up my own company to do my own events, which was absolutely amazing. And then after getting married, I then went into the wedding industry, and my husband is also part of the wedding industry. And, you know, there were certain things that didn't really go right on the wedding day. And I just thought, you know what, there needs to be a standard of excellence in this wedding industry. So it's great that God used me to come into the industry and actually help to shape the industry and grow the industry. And then, you know, once I, you know, came to the industry, was executing, you know, weddings, my brand grew, my name grew, you know, just started to developed my own, you know, kind of own attraction. After doing so many weddings, I then thought, okay, my passion is training. My passion is being able to help people. So let me now take everything that I've learned and, you know, start teaching wedding planners. So I officially launched my training academy, or not a training academy, my training workshop in 2016. And then I launched my international training academy 2019. So now we train wedding planners all around the world. Which is one side. And then I think it was in 2018, I then launched my coaching, the coaching side, where it's called Book More Brides. And, you know, we work with wedding professionals to confidently charge what they're worth, to know how to effectively communicate their value, and to help them to build a sustainable and profitable wedding business.
Oh, wow. So it's about teaching people really to capture what they're worth. So even in the wedding industry, you're still sort of doing a bit of the motivational thing, because
yes.
you're telling people you are worth more, you are worth this, and this is what you can tap into. So you know, there are lots of people out there right now that are saying they're high ticket coaches, and they can get you to get clients that will pay thousands and thousands of pounds. Do you use a tag like that in order to get clients to come to you?
Okay, so I help wedding professionals attract higher paying clients. So this is what we call premium brides. So I am in that market, you know, I'm a luxury wedding planner. So, you know, I've built my business, and my clientele is, you know, the brides that have a really good budget to put towards their wedding. And because I'm a wedding planner, I've worked with several different, you know, wedding professionals. I understand the industry inside out. I also know I'm very good at, you know, communicating my value and knowing how to sell. You know, and I want wedding professionals to be comfortable with, you know, selling, you know, because if somebody, and it all comes down to somebody has a problem and you have the solution, why would you not position your solution in front of the person who has the problem? Yeah. So I'm changing mindsets, I'm building confidence, and I'm helping wedding professionals to build businesses that will hopefully lead them to financial freedom, so that they can maybe quit their 9-to-5 and do, you know, what they're passionate about. It's all about, what are you passionate about? You know, what do you actually want to be doing? And if you're passionate about doing your wedding business full time, then I will definitely help you to get there. So because people see my success, it's very easy for me to, you know, they know I'm not just making it up. I'm not just teaching from the book. Like, I've walked this path. And now what has taken me 8 years to achieve in the wedding industry, I'm going to teach you that for, yes, a very high investment. But after we finish, your business will be transformed. You would have rebranded yourself, and you would now be attracting the right clients who are willing to pay you what you're worth. So yes, there's certain taglines, but I think the greatest thing is people being able to see that you've done it, and then, you know, they don't have to question whether, if they make that investment, are they going to get what, you know, they're going to get it back, and they double whatever investment they make. They make, like, because also I get them to put up their pricing. So, you know, it's almost like 100%, you know, increase that they're getting, you know, by just simply spending 8 weeks with me. It only takes 8 weeks for me to transform you. And then, you know, you're good.
You've managed to compress 8 years into 8 weeks of training. Wow. Yeah. That is an amazing feat.
But it's not just any training, you know. They call me the No More Excuses coach. So, you know, if you come and train with me, like you have to be ready. You have to want this like 11 out of 10. If you don't, then my program is not for you, because I don't do the work for you. And if I see that you're not doing it, then, you know, I will push you. But after a while, I would just, you know, it's not working for us, because my clients must get results. Yes. It's all about results. It's not just about you saying you did a course with Sotonye. No. If you have to get results, because I'm results driven. So if you want results, I want results for you, then together we can do it. And 8 weeks of, you know, 100% commitment and following my step-by-step plan, because it took me 8 years, but it doesn't take you 8 years to get to where I am. It just took me 8 years to learn it. But in 8 weeks, I can teach you the strategies, because it's all about strategies, working smarter. And the strategies, you know, when you have your call with your clients, what are you saying to them? How are you speaking to them? How are you packaging your services? Do they make sense? You know, what is your brand voice? When people, you know, go to your social media page, what does it say about you? So we look at all of these different areas, and once you make the tweaks and you change the language and you change what you're putting out there, then you will start to attract, you know, the new clientele. So, but it's like a boot camp, an 8-week boot camp for sure.
Okay, and people can sign up to that boot camp by going to your Instagram handles, or
yeah. So there is a form where on the Book More Brides Instagram page, if they click the link in the bio, it will take them through to several different forms. They need to find the correct form, which is the Book More Brides, and then they can enter in their details. So we run it twice a year. So as long as they send in their details, they fill in an application form, when the doors open again, they will be contacted.
Okay, all right. And it's twice a year. Okay, yeah. So business coach and goal execution strategist, entrepreneur, author.
Yes, author, yes. I've written 3 books. I've only got 2 here. They're both called, this is my first book, No More Excuses. My second book, No More Excuses Coaching Manual. And my second book, my second book is a colouring book called Colour to Success for kids aged 5 to 7. And it's got positive quotes in there. And it's when I grow older, I want to, and it just gets them to dream. And it has different career choices in there as well. So even with my first book, I interviewed 16 Afro-Caribbean role models, and I literally documented their stories to success, showing that there's no reason why you can't become successful in this world. If you have the right mindset, the right attitude, and the right belief system, then you will become unstoppable, and you will become a role model, and you will be somebody who can then give back and help others to also rise up and get to where they need to get to. Yeah.
So this book, your first book, was written specifically for the Afro-Caribbean or for the Black demographic. I don't know why I can't find my words. It was written for the Black demographic.
So you know what, anybody can read the book. I've just chosen to feature successful Afro-Caribbean role models. And yes, the primary audience is young Black teenagers, but the book is open, even the age. Adults have read the book and they have felt inspired, because this is literally the life stories of individuals who, probably maybe have something similar to your upbringing, but they did something different. And it's all about what did they do different to get them to where they are today, because you cannot do what everybody else is doing and expect to get a different result. You have to think differently. If you've grown up in a certain area, or you've grown up, in a certain area where it doesn't encourage you to think a certain way or to behave a certain way, then you're going to need to change that so that you can come out of that. Are you going to, like when I wrote that book, I was actually working in a youth club in Hackney. Okay. And I remember the young people saying to me, they don't really see me as Black. And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, you talk well, you look good, you dress well. And I said, listen, that's not what Black is. I said Black is being educated. Like, Black is being beautiful. Like, I'm as Black as you can be. Do you understand? But their mindset was like what they saw became their definition of Black. And so that's the reason why I wrote this book, to show them that Black people are actually extremely successful. And I wanted to give them a book of role models. So not just one, not just two, and also from different industries. Because growing up, in certain areas, you're told, that maybe you can be a singer, or maybe you can be a hairdresser. Like, in certain areas, they don't encourage you to, you know, go for the top, you know, to become a CEO, to go into senior, you know, management, to have an elitist mindset. So this book was to show them that there is no limit. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then you do it. If you want to be like a counselor, not a counselor, like an MP, you can do it. So, you know, even I launched this book at the House of Commons, which was really amazing. And the foreword was written by Dawn Butler, who was the former MP for Brent. So, you know, this book is just really to encourage young people. If you can believe it, then you will achieve it. But it starts in the mind, and it starts with education as well.
You know, Michelle Obama, in her her autobiography of becoming Michelle Obama, she cites a similar example where she was at a family gathering, and she was speaking, and one of her cousins, she said she couldn't remember the name of the cousin, but she remembers that one of her cousins, a girl, she looked at her and she said, "Why do you talk white? Why do you talk like a white girl?" And she said she was taken aback by the comment. She was like, "No, I don't." But it was because in her home, her parents and her grandparents had always encouraged her to speak correctly, not to talk with slang, and to kind of carry herself in a way that was not particularly deemed or seen or perceived as the black way of doing things.
Yeah.
You know, and when you said about what the young people in the youth group in Hackney, that came glaring back to me, because I as well experienced that when I was at school, because my parents taught me the same thing. You make sure you pronounce your words correctly, you speak right,
Yeah.
you always have that sort of mindset that is ahead, always think ahead, think about, you know, what people are going to think about you afterwards, but they must always think the best. And it's always a progressive type of mindset, and I'm really happy to know that you've got 2 of these books, and not just targeting young people, but little ones as well. You said your second book is for those between the ages of 5 and 7, and we've not got many people writing books for kidpreneurs.
Yes.
You know, and I think it would be great if we could get the titles of the books and where we can get them.
Okay, so you can get it from my website, which is www.sotonyederu.com. So that's sotonyederu.com, and all my books are there. Now, this is a coaching manual, and this is, you know, for like young adults and above. And this is an interactive book, so it's got different worksheets in it, so that you can actually, you know, be reading. And, you know, this is the fear buster. You know, if you suffer with fear, how to overcome fear. So this No More Excuses coaching manual is helping you to coach yourself through to success. And it looks at how to define your goals, how to achieve your goals, how to develop positive relationships. So when you're out networking, I've got a formula called the SAT formula, which helps you to be able to create rapport instantly. And also it looks at your finances as well, because in life, you know, finances are important. So either it helps you how to sharpen your skill set in the workplace, or how to actually set up a business and, you know, be your own boss. So this is what the coaching manual is all about, and it's just amazing. It's just got so many things in there, so many worksheets, just to really help you to you know, coach yourself to success.
Oh, that's amazing, brilliant. Thank you so much for that. We're almost at the end of the show. It's been a real joy. I have to keep my eye on the clock these days, because I get such interesting guests on these shows, and we can talk and talk forever.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, you know, it's not been an easy time the last 4 to 5 months, or 5 to 6 months. And, you know, we're waking up across the world now, because it was as if COVID-19 had put the entire world to sleep, or put us into hibernation. And we're at the stage now where things are coming alive once more. And have you got any guidance or any advice, encouragement for those who are, you know, still kind of sitting down and waiting to see what's going to happen at this stage in the economy?
Okay, so if you go to my Instagram page at Sotonye Deru, you'll see that I do 60 seconds of motivation, and one of them I spoke about opportunity, and I wrote out I think like opportunity nowhere, but when you look at it again, it's opportunity is now and here. So it's, you know, in life, you cannot wait for things to kind of, you know, come to you, or opportunities to come to you, or for things to be perfect before you get up and you know, you do whatever you need to do. You have to be self-motivated. You have to have a different mindset where you're always looking for opportunities. And if you don't see the opportunities, you start to create those opportunities for yourself. So you cannot become successful in this world if you're waiting for handouts. You have to be a pioneer. You have to be the one to push yourself. You know, in a time like this, you have to look at, okay, what is working for me? What isn't working for me? And what can I change? You know, we have the ability to change certain things. There's certain things that are outside of our control, but there's other things that we can change. There's other things that we can do to bring about the results that we're looking for. So maybe, yes, you were going down path A, and now path A has been cut off. Does that mean that you should wait until path A reopens? No, because we don't know when that's going to happen. So then do you now need to create a path B that can still get you to the same goal you're trying to get to? There's not just one way to get to where you're trying to get to. You should always have like a contingency plan, you know, an event planner. We always have contingency plans. If plan A doesn't work, we go straight into plan B. If plan B doesn't work, we go straight into plan C. There's always a way. Never tell me no. There's always a way around the situation. And my mindset is that I am a solution thinker. So as a solution thinker, I'm always looking for a solution. I'm always looking for how can this be done? And during this time, how I've been able to survive is because I've pivoted my businesses. I've put down, like, weddings, we're not doing weddings anymore. So I've put that to the side and I've picked up other businesses because I have multiple streams of income. So I've been able to build the other businesses and work within them. But for those of you who maybe, you know, you've lost your job right now and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, you know, maybe this is a good time for you just to reflect and be like, okay, I was working in that job for 10 years. Was I happy? Was I fulfilled? Was it what I really wanted to do? If this could be another opportunity for you to change career and actually now start applying for a career that you're actually genuinely interested in, or just do a career change. You've been in it for 20 years. Like, don't you want something new and something fresh? So always look for the good in every situation you find yourself in. Always evaluate and always look at what can I do now to get me to where I want to get to. So go again, apply for another job. You know, look for, just don't give up. Do not have a defeated mindset. Have a mindset where no matter what, I'm going to get through this. And no matter what, with God on my side, all things will work out for my good. And then you move forward in faith, believing that faith without works is dead. So put your works and see what God will do with your faith. And great things will definitely come your way. Amen.
Amen. Oh, that was a powerful, powerful place to end the interview. Thank you so very much for coming on again. You have made the show extremely interesting. You know, some people believe that interviews like this should have lots of slide shares and, you know, all sorts of things popping up all over the place. But I kind of like the intimate one-to-one, just face-to-face. I want to hear from your heart, because when people, there are times when people see, oh, okay, it's a business and so on. But then when they actually get to see or meet or hear from the person behind the business, then they understand the reason, the purpose. They understand the level of professionalism that goes into the business, and they are more convinced and encouraged as well sometimes to get up and start doing what it is that they've had in their hearts to do forever and a day. So thank you so very much for sharing so candidly with us. We'll make sure that all of your handles, your Instagram handles and your webpage are posted underneath the interview so that people can know where to find you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sotonye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for this amazing platform. Thank you for impacting businesses and helping to give us a voice. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Amen. And thank you as well, everyone who has watched today live, or if you're going to watch the replay. Thank you for tuning in to Key TV. Remember, we're here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1:30 p.m. GMT. So tune in on Thursday for another episode of Key TV. Until then, stay safe and enjoy yourself. Bye for now.